What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beers And. Today, we're going to be talking about beers and board games. One of my favorites.
Love it. Collect $200.
Do not
collect it. Go immediately to jail. Oh, boy.
Maybe not a bad place to be in.
Jail?
Well, I mean, in Monopoly.
Oh, maybe. I was going to say.
Real jail is not as fun.
No,
you can't just roll doubles and get out.
No, come on.
Although, would that not be the greatest way to get out of jail?
Just rolling doubles?
Here's 4 dice. Roll them all the same. If you get them all the same, you can get out.
Dirty, rotten scoundrel.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beers And. We're going to be talking about board games today, obviously. My name is Alex, and this lovely gentleman...
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm the belle of the ball in this jail scenario.
That's the truth.
Oh, what a backhanded compliment, too. At least maybe for me, but,
For you, from you.
Yeah, I'll take it. I just like the attention.
That's fair. Yeah, we need attention. Please come watch us on YouTube at Beers and Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at the same, Beers and Podcast, and coming over to Twitter, Beers and One. And really, I mean, if you want to contact us directly.
Yep, you can go on over to beersandpodcast@gmail.com. We'll take all of your questions, your suggestions, your comments, your
all of them.
Your criticisms.
We'll take them all.
I'll take them all.
And then we'll probably yell at you about them.
Yep. You will be featured in the opening of the following episode.
That would be cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd like that. I always like to respond to haters.
Definitely.
Or lovers.
Haters going to hate, man.
I almost sang T Swift for a second.
Please
don't
don't
know why. No, I won't. Yeah. See?
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. So we're going to have a beer from Magnify today.
Ooh.
Very excited. Here it comes.
Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, 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 bum.
Ta-da! This one is Cheers to Another Year.
Cheers to another year.
Did I do that right?
I don't think
I'm sorry. Glad to see another year.
Yeah.
This is from Magnify. I was not wrong about that. And what we have here is a sour.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a sour, actually.
Yep. We've got an Imperial Sour, another one, back to back. This one has blackberry, cherry, boysenberry, coconut, and marshmallow.
Ooh, all right. Ooh, I'm a little curious about the addition of the coconut in there.
I'm into the boysenberry.
The boysenberry.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
a good
into that.
boysenberry.
So, I have had this before.
Oh, you have?
I will say, you have not.
No.
But I had it a while ago, actually, when I first bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see how I compare it now.
See how it's aged?
Yes. Hopefully like fine wine.
Like a fine wine.
Or fine beer.
Or a fine beer. One or the other.
So board games. We talked about this last time we were together, and we agreed upon this topic mutually. I would say this is a big part of our friendship, like 10 years ago or so.
You know what's funny is that I was thinking about that, how we had many a board game.
We played tons of
Monopoly.
Yep.
I think it's because we're into it from the strategy aspect of things and just the socialization as well.
100%.
I know I have some friends, I can think of one in particular, who, I almost made a pun, so I'll stay away from it, who absolutely loathes
Monopoly.
Well, no, board games in general.
Wow.
It does not like the idea, like the if the rules are too complicated, they're like, I don't want to do it.
Do I know this person?
You do.
Don't tell me their name.
I won't tell you her name at all.
Don't tell me their name after the show.
Nope, I won't. I won't tell you that it was just their birthday, and that we just got in contact with them to perhaps go ahead and pick us up some beer.
Hate to be that poor soul.
Nope. We're not going to say it, so it doesn't matter.
What a sad life that sounds like. No board games.
Womp, womp, womp.
Man, all right, I'm not going to give anything away, but this beer.
It's got the nose.
I'm not going to give anything away.
Do we, selfishly, do we have a question for this episode?
Do I have a question?
I
sure do.
Gun?
No, not at all.
Oh, you know what? That color is surprising, and it's
Actually, it looks very similar to the beer we just had.
The beer we just had.
Yeah.
Huh.
No blueberry in here though.
No, just the boysenberries.
So my question, I want to know what the first board game you ever played was.
I was thinking about this, and there were two that kind of stick out, at least in my mind.
I know exactly what mine was.
Yeah?
Chess. I'm sorry, Checkers.
Oh, okay.
Checkers was my first game.
I want to say that I distinctly remember playing Candyland at a very, very, very young age.
Damn, that's a good one.
And I was trying to think of the other one before, and I do remember we played Trouble quite a bit. Like we had, if I'm not mistaken, my mother's like copy of Trouble growing up as a kid. And
Trouble's fun.
Oh, it's fun getting into trouble. What are you kids doing in here?
Do you remember
getting into trouble?
Do you remember Don't Wake Daddy?
Oh my God, yes, of course.
And that terrible the image of the dad in the cap.
In the cap,
and the gown,
yeah. Oh my God.
Or what about the most annoying game to set up ever, Mousetrap?
Well, the only thing to do with Mousetrap was to set it up, watch it not work, and then say, fuck this, let's play something else.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the ones that I remember distinctly as a kid.
Would you consider Boggle
Oh yeah,
a board game?
that would count. Yeah. I think I remember playing like Chinese checkers as a kid quite a bit.
Forever.
Neither have I, and I'm afraid that I don't remember.
I don't.
But I remember I loved playing it though. Like
it's just
really,
checkers on a diagonal board, isn't it? They just move the other way.
Not entirely. Like there's
different rules.
Yeah, there's slightly different rules.
Man, there's so many good ones that we're talking about now that we didn't talk about in the future.
Oh no, I know. Oh, there were a number of them. Like I know
so
that
many.
I had looked up stuff on.
I forgot one of the best ones.
Which one?
Operation.
I didn't even think about that either.
One of the best games. Oh man, we missed.
Is it water on the knee?
We could Operation.
A Charlie horse, you see? Well, see, these are the kind of things that also just get embedded into your brain because they advertise these all the time.
Yep.
You know which one I always think of? Do you remember the game? I actually do remember playing this very, very young as well. Do you remember playing the game Crossfire? You get caught up in the crossfire.
Actually, I never played, always wanted to. I never had it.
Oh, yeah. I had Crossfire. And looking back.
Shoot stuff, right?
Straight up, little teeny tiny metal balls. And
they were metal?
Oh, yes. They were like these heavy metal balls. And I just keep thinking about it like, choking hazard. They're like
BBs then.
They are 100% like BBs.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah. And then, God forbid, it ever got like jammed every now and then. Oh, God, I used to hate that.
We don't consider air hockey. No. That's not a
No, that one I wouldn't consider.
That's a table game.
That's a table game. Exactly.
Fair enough. Whole lot of coconut and marshmallow in the nose.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of that marshmallow.
Whole lot of coconut marshmallow.
And we said it was cherry, boysenberry, and blackberry?
Cherry, boysenberry, blackberry.
Wow.
In addition, all right. So I assume I made this comment before, but I don't know if this is the truth. On like a nutrition label, the first ingredient is the majority of the.
I didn't know that was the way it went. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and it goes in order from like majority to minority as far as ingredients go.
Oh.
Yeah. So usually, if like pecans are last, then that's the least amount of that ingredient in there.
Oh, I don't know if it's the same.
So I wonder if it's the same because first is blackberry, then cherry, boysenberry, coconut, and marshmallow.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe like those are the more distinct notes that would come out first.
I don't know.
I guess we'll have to give it a shot and we'll see.
Let's figure it out.
Cheers.
Cheers, sir. It's actually like, I feel like when I had it last time, I remember it being much more sweet, and it's not. It's actually more tart. And I like that.
I was going to say, I like that. And I was a little nervous again about some of the marshmallow.
It's there, but it's like...
Well, it's blended really well with the almond.
That's what it is. It's blended and it's blending. It's blended and it lingers, but it doesn't linger sweet.
Right. I think it's because the fact is that the tartness from the blackberry, from the cherry, and from the boysenberry is so apparent, kind of up front.
Mm-hmm.
But it lingers away. Dissipates. Or it dissipates, yeah. It kind of fades away into that marshmallow and almond.
Yeah.
Wait,
really. Is there almond in here?
Did I say almond or did I mean coconut?
Coconut,
sorry. But it dissipates, again, really, really nicely.
The coconut has like a very overpowering aroma on my soft palate.
Yes. But
not overpowering. It's very prominent.
I like it though. I'm usually not, again, very much into that coconut flavor, but I think that it cuts it cuts everything very, very
cuts
nicely.
Right through, yep.
Yeah. If it's done properly.
The cherry is really nice with the blackberry and the boysenberry, because it's like cherry, blackberry, boysenberry.
This is, I'm fascinated by this one because I didn't think I was going to enjoy it too much. And to be honest with you, even on that first sip, I kind of was expecting to like it, but I was thinking that after my second or third sip, I was going to start to find a couple more characteristics that I wasn't a big fan of. But it's pretty consistent. It's
mellow, and what am I trying to say? The flavors somehow don't like combine. They kind of sit on their own.
Yes, and very much in that berry category, that tart berry category, right. And then that sweetness. Exactly. So they're in two distinct groups.
Yeah.
But again,
weirdly enough.
But the 2 or 3 ingredients in each group blend together well to where they're not competing. I'm not searching for the marshmallow or the coconut. They're there together. Yeah. I'm not searching for the cherry or the boysenberry or the blackberry. They're all very prominent in the front.
Magnify has made some really good stuff that we've had from them so far.
Yeah. This is a slightly higher ABV as well. I believe that 8. It is an 8%.
Yep. It's punchy with the flavor, which I like, but also it's not like thick.
No,
it's a very thin beer, comparatively speaking.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes the marshmallow would usually thicken it up just a little too much, in terms of like flavor. Even if the actual consistency wasn't a bit thicker, sometimes I think it leaves a more full, robust taste, and that's not what's happening here.
It's not muted though. Like
no,
it's full flavor. It's just kind of like toned down a little bit.
Yeah. For that reason, I think I'm gonna go fairly high. I'm feeling 3.85.
It's pretty much right where I am.
Yeah,
3.75 is what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
I think
enjoyable.
I like it more this time than the first time.
This is so as opposed to what we had, just tried in our last episode, where it was clearly defined and described as a dessert beer. Mm-hmm. This one for me strikes me more as almost like an aperitif. Like I would have this beforehand.
The beer before the beer?
Yeah, I really would. Like I feel like, again, maybe because I had some a couple nights ago, but like you gave me some like good, like warm brie with this. Oh, for days. Maybe some like dates, like a prosciutto wrapped date.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd rather fig, but yeah.
Or a fig. Yeah. I could do figs.
A little prosciutto wrapped fig, balsamic glaze
on top. Ha.
Want that.
Oh, my good. Yeah, right? Can we get some fig wrapped?
Could somebody send the interns in here, please?
Yeah, right.
One day.
I was waiting for someone to actually walk in for some reason and get really like, yeah, here I am.
What would our intern's name be?
Lucas. I don't know why.
That is a fantastic intern name.
Is it right?
I think so.
Yeah, our intern Lucas.
If you're out there.
Lucas. If there's a Lucas, or I guess the plural of Lucas is Luci. If there are any Luci out there, let us know. Lucci. And realistically, we could teach you stuff. I mean, this is just a 2-man operation.
Oh yeah, we'll learn you.
This is just a 2-person operation.
We're not high maintenance, I would say.
No, not all the time.
We enjoy the finer things in life, but we are not high maintenance.
No, I think that yes, I know what I like, but I know where I'm from.
Exactly. That's the tagline. That's going on my tombstone.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, right. I know what I like, but I know where I'm from.
Yep. All right, so you talked about it before, Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most pivotal games in my childhood. My family won't play it with me anymore.
Nope.
And some of you guys won't even play it with me at this point. But we played for a while. We got together like once a week.
Yeah, I would say.
Played a round, maybe 2 rounds. We're ruthless.
We were, because I think we played the full on, proper version. So like our games went for a minimum of almost 2-3 hours. Mm-hmm. Yeah, until someone either conceded it or somebody won.
Yeah, and usually it was win.
Usually
we would stick around.
Yeah.
We were all interested to see the outcome of the game.
It was always kind of interesting though, because if you were one of the first people out, usually you would hang out for
you
about
die
half.
where you live.
Yeah, and
we would say that.
You would die where you would live, and they would hang out for roughly half an hour, 45 minutes, and then be like, I'm gonna get going.
When we say that, you die where you live, really it's you live where you die, is where your piece goes out on the board. That's your permanent residence.
Exactly.
You will stay in the spot that you were.
If you run out, or if you do, you always want to aim for some place that is at least on the right side of the board.
Yes, you want to be on the right side of town.
Yes, you want to be on the right side of town.
We would trade stuff. I mean, absolute ruthless. But then we got to the point where like we were all so good that we would sell stuff back to the bank and like stay in for a couple more rounds, and like maybe you get lucky and hit the jackpot.
The yelling and the visceral sometimes, like, wait a second, no, we're in discussions right now, so like you wait. It's not your turn to go ahead and start throwing stuff around.
We would do pardons where if you landed on someone's spot a couple times, you wouldn't have to pay them.
Oh God,
really into it.
I love Monopoly.
So Monopoly traces all the way back to the early 1900s, 1903.
Oh,
so quite some time ago. Anti-monopolist Lizzie Magie created the game, and she hoped it would explain the single tax theory of George Henry. So this is really supposed to be like an informational, educational game.
Mm-hmm.
It was intended to illustrate the negative aspects of concentrating land in private monopolies. So she took out a patent a year later in 1904. Her game, she called it the Landlord's Game, was self-published 2 years later in 1906. She created 2 sets of rules, one anti-monopolist and one monopolist. So like the anti-monopolist rules, the players would come together to create the community and like be given money off rules. And then obviously there's the other version that we know.
Yeah.
Trying to get property and take other people's money.
Yeah.
So Maggie patented the game again in 1923 as many other variants of her board game came out, and she wanted to keep her name on it, obviously. According to an ad placed in the Christian Science Monitor, so I assume a newspaper or a magazine.
Oh yeah, I believe that the Christian Science Monitor is
still around.
Still in publication.
Maybe this is a newer ad then.
Yeah.
Charles Darrow is the guy's name. In 1932, played the Landlord's Game at a dinner party of a friend's house. Darrow was new to the game at this point, so after he left his friend's house, he had asked for a written set of rules. What happened was he ended up going on to produce this game on his own, and is actually like credited with the board setup.
Oh, really?
And then he started to sell this. Parker Brothers bought the copyright from Darrow, but then realized that it wasn't his game to buy. So they bought the patent from Lizzie Magie. They located her, paid her $500 for the patent, and that was it. Not only did she that was all the money she got, but she didn't get any credit for the game after that, because Darrow was seen as the person who really pushed it out into the forefront, I guess because of the board and his written set of rules that he kind of honed in.
I had only heard recently of her story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I feel like it only came to light more recently than not, because I want to say that it was roughly around the same time where our friend Christine, for some reason, must have come across an article as well and was talking with me about it. And she was like, did you know this whole story about Monopoly and how it actually came about? So I feel like it's only now that folks are starting to almost realize or learn about the backstory of.
Very possible.
Yeah.
So then in 1935, Parker Brothers began to market the game. In December of that year, Darrow was given a patent for his design of the board, and he became the first board game millionaire in the United States.
Wow. And meanwhile, she got paid the $500, and that was it.
And as you and I know, or maybe you guys don't, the original board layout is based on Atlantic City.
Atlantic City. Yeah.
Streets of Atlantic City.
Huh. What year was she paid?
This happened, Right before 1935, because that's when they started to market the game. So this was either right in that year or directly before that in 34 or 33.
All right. I want to see, out of curiosity, what this amount of money would have been.
Now,
So we said that it was about 1935-ish we'll go with?
1930s.
And she was paid $500. Wow. It's like sad. Roughly a little less than $10,400. It was
nothing.
exactly, if anything, it was $10,354.
That's nothing for a game that has had countless spin-offs, Star Wars spin-offs, Pokemon spin-offs, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's the American, there's the version we used to play. I think it was
the American version.
American anniversary that
Yeah.
I brought over. There were the
trivia questions that were
Harry
built in.
Potter. Yeah, there's so many. This lady got $500.
There are individual, I know, then like personalized ones that have been made. So I know that for years where we had grown up, that there was a PTO that had put together like Hazlitopoly.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like my mother still has 2 versions of this for some reason in the plastic.
I love it.
Like we were never actually allowed
Don't
to
open
play
it. It's gonna be worth
that
it.
version.
Worth something.
Yeah, God only knows, But I love Monopoly
Great
so
game.
much. What do you always go for? What are the most important ones to you?
Well, I know what the most important ones to have are, but I don't always go for them. Red and yellow.
Right.
Red and yellow or red and orange are the 2 best to have. Red and orange if you can get the corner, red and orange.
Right.
But I like green for some reason.
I like the green. We've always, I think,
I
the
like
North
green.
Carolina.
And what's right before orange? Oh, like magenta. So it's like, on the first corner it's brown and blue, and then on the next corner it's magenta and red, or magenta and orange. I like that, the second turn.
Okay.
I like that whole side.
Oh, that
I'm
orange.
not a big
in the
railroads guy.
Oh, I'm all about the railroads.
You make money.
Oh yeah, I love the railroads.
I'm not a big whatever the first 2 are.
Baltic and Mediterranean, I believe.
Stupid.
Yeah.
You pay more for the houses than you get in rent. Stupid.
Oh, yeah, but it can screw people over.
No, you're absolutely right. You end up getting like the go money back
Exactly.
after you. Yeah, and I think blue is pointless.
Yeah, well,
it's
it's only
too
the
much.
2, right?
It's only 2.
Yeah.
It's too much money.
Or maybe am I thinking of it's yeah.
No, you're right.
It is.
Yeah, that last side is 3 green, and then 2 blue at the bottom.
Oh,
before you
those
hit
2,
the-
Park and Broadway.
Yes.
Oh,
The last
yeah,
two.
those two are like
those are nonsense to me.
Yeah, I don't see a point.
Although
to
I
them at all.
always get knocked out on those.
Oh, really?
Always.
We have to bust that game out. We haven't played that in a
Yeah.
very long time.
And let's get rid of the utilities, okay? Like who
No,
gives a
you
fuck?
need the utilities. I'm gonna get in one of these days. I'm gonna set it up. My buddy Fox. We'll have maybe a beers. We'll have a proper like beers and Monopoly maybe
that.
episode. We'll do like a live. Maybe we'll do like a live
That
stream.
would be fun.
And I can guarantee we'll try a couple different beers and we'll play a game because Fox I know is also ruthless.
Really?
Oh, and all
Love
of his like we play board games with them on a regular basis, and we've gotten to the point where like there are certain games where we're like, what's the fucking point? Fox is gonna win.
That bad,
And,
really?
Oh, he's so damn you, Fox.
I'm a competitive person. So
the
like,
2 of you would get along like peas in a pod.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
or also just scream at each other.
Oh yeah, but no, because I could see what would wind up happening is that somebody else at the table would make a mistake, and the 2 of you would be like. Well,
Idiot.
what do you fucking expect was gonna wind up happening?
Idiot.
You put 2 houses on St. James Place,
thought those
and
2
then,
houses were gonna save
come
you.
on.
Yeah. The competitive nature comes out in me in games, and I'm like, win at all costs.
So, what I had decided to jump into first, if anything. Are you done with Monopoly? I apologize.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
I decided to first kick things off with the most expensive board games that do exist.
Interesting.
So this is from an article from Money Inc. in 2019.
All right.
And it has the top 5 most expensive board games.
Okay.
So at number 5 is known as a Royal Diamond chess set. It is at a total of $600,000.
Holy shnikes.
Each piece is made from 14 karat white gold. And then it is also finished with more than 9,900 black and white diamonds, which have a combined carat of 186.
Wow.
There is then the Art of War chess set, which comes in at $1 million. And again, that is made from gold and a number of other like precious metals. There's then the Gold Monopoly set, which comes in at $2 million. And that is made from a combination of 18-karat gold and gemstones such as rubies, sapphires, and diamonds.
Wow.
There's the Charles Hollander Backgammon set, which is $5 million. And that is made of gold and silver and then more than 60,000 black, white, and yellow diamonds.
Jesus Christ, bro.
And then, according again to this website, the most expensive is the Jewel Royale chess set at $9.8 million. It is made out of pure gold and platinum.
Pure gold.
Pure gold and platinum, decorated with rubies, emeralds, pearls, and a number of other then gemstones.
These are very clearly just collector's pieces.
They have to be. Like, there's no reason or no way that anybody would be playing some of this stuff.
Even the cheapest one, $600K for a chess set.
Well, and then it's just wild because it is. You're right. $600K, and then it jumps up to $1 million,
And then to $2 million.
and then to $2 million,
Yeah.
then to $5 million, and then again
Almost to
like
10.
9.8. It
Yeah.
is wild.
That's-
how much money some of these people or some folks, I guess, will pay for this stuff. But you're right. I mean,
Like, what are you doing with it?
and that's the thing is like something like a board game, even if it is chess and it is a higher brow, if you will, game, they're still meant to be played.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
I mean, unless folks do,
I'd be playing with that shit if I bought it.
I think I would too.
I'm going to really quickly correlate this to a belief that I have in life. So like and I'm going to bring it back to fantasy football. When I play fantasy football and I'm going after an asset, be it a player or a draft pick, whatever, I'm usually only interested in assets that are going to increase in value. If you bought a $10 million chess set, what are the chances that tomorrow or 10 years from now, it's going to be worth more than the price you bought it at?
Well, I mean, maybe just based on the metals themselves.
That's okay.
I
The
mean,
price
you are-
of metal going up.
Yeah, I was going to
that's
say,
definitely
you've got to
something.
put your faith or your trust in something like that.
Definitely. But if it's used, I mean, you can polish metal. Metal is different used than other things.
Yeah.
Like antiqued things.
Right.
But I don't see that increasing in value to a point where like it's feasible for you to buy it because you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
It's like an investment that you're investing at ground level and you're not going anywhere.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't disagree with you in the slightest. It's interesting, again, just because I was watching an episode again of like Storage Wars, and it was kind of crazy because they had come across a couple of board games that they were like, I don't know, these are kind of like old and weird, and it wound up being, this collection of sorts that wound up being worth, $5,000-$10,000
Damn.
to collectors. But I guess that's also the thing is like there are people out there that collect
Exactly.
some of these things.
Exactly.
Like, that you and I would be like, who would care about something like that?
Right. But some people do collect coins.
I look at the
Board
radio
games.
that's sitting right in front of us. I keep a track of how much like that's worth because,
Sure.
People after a while do pay money. I mean, for
Yeah.
these old vintage,
Think about Nintendo 64s.
oh my God,
Hot
they're
commodity
so
right now. They're
expensive.
they're not as expensive as they might have been when they first came out.
I mean,
I don't
realistically,
really know. I haven't looked.
I don't remember what they.
But like
were
that's
when they
something
first
that's
came out with.
retained value or at least
Or
up
increased
a
after
little
a
bit,
while.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing like when you buy a car. It's immediately going to depreciate once it's off the
By
lot,
half,
but
which is
then after 25 years, that's when it starts to
If
like
it becomes a
appreciate-
collector.
Exactly,
collector's item.
it starts to appreciate in value again.
right. Interesting.
This has just become a finance podcast.
These are all very pertinent facts that you were learning right now. Hope you're writing down. There will be a quiz.
There will be a quiz.
I moved over to Scrabble because that's another game that I love to play, and I think is just a great all-around game. Like anyone can play it
We haven't played. I don't
in
know.
a really long
Yeah.
time. Yeah. But that was another game we used to play a lot. So it was originally called Crisscross. Was the original name of Scrabble. It was based on the crossword puzzle.
Yeah.
Obviously, this guy Alfred M. Butts was a New York architect. During the Great Depression, he thought that maybe people needed a distraction.
Yeah.
So he took what he thought were the 3 most enduring games of all time: number games, letter games, and what's the third one?
I assume
Number games and board games.
Yeah, okay.
And combined them into one game, creating Crisscross, or as we know it, Scrabble.
Yeah.
For years, he tinkered with the rules because it obviously wasn't a perfect game. And to choose the frequency and the value of the tiles, what he actually did for a long time was count the letters on the pages of the New York Times, the Saturday Evening Post, and the New York Herald Tribune.
Oh my God.
And that's how he came up with the values and the tile frequency.
Shut up.
Yeah, and then so like for years he tried to push this game on investors, and he couldn't find one until eventually this dude named James Bruno contacted Butts about mass producing the game, which at that time, trying to find a sponsor, he readily handed it over because he was done trying to push his product. He was like, someone wants to produce it, let's do it. So James Bruno did that. He was actually instrumental in the game's success. He came up with the color scheme of the tiles, so like the magenta and the light blue, and he came up with that whole thing. He came up with the 50-point bonus for using all 7 tiles. Okay. So he did some of the rules too. And even finally, he came up with the name Scrabble.
Oh, wow.
So Scrabble actually means to scrawl or to scratch or scrape.
Oh.
So I guess that's what it comes from, like trying to scrawl letters onto a page.
Okay. I was also just thinking about like how there are those times where you put each tile down and then you slide it into place.
That too. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. So the story goes that in 1938, the chairman of Macy's was on vacation, came across Scrabble, found this game, ordered a shit ton from James Bruno, and that's how Scrabble was like blown up.
No way.
So when eventually, he found it, the Macy's chairman, I didn't get the guy's name, but after they placed the large order, when was this article? It doesn't have a date.
1934.
Definitely not.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about the actual article that you're looking at.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't have a date, but the stat in this article is that from the time of the writing, Scrabble has sold over 150 million copies in 121 countries and is available in over 30 languages.
I believe it.
Currently in the homes of about a third of Americans.
I want to say that I do have.
You have Scrabble?
I want to say that I do.
I have one.
Yeah, I want to say that I do.
Yeah.
I love Scrabble. That is one of those, again, my parents would play that like with us. It's the first time I don't know why this is a memory that always sticks with me. It was the first time I had ever learned of the word bovine.
Oh, okay.
My father had used it, and I had to, I don't know, maybe I was like 10 or 11.
What a word.
And yeah, I remember my mother and I were like, what the fuck is bovine? He was like, it means like cow. We were like, oh, okay.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. And he did very well as a result.
Great game. I would play that like against my mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because she loves Scrabble too. That's probably where I played it the first time. But there's like Words with Friends now. You can play Scrabble on your phone against something. Like we could play Scrabble right now while we're on the show.
There's there was another version of a game or of the game that we had gotten years later. And to be honest with you, I don't think we actually ever opened it, but it was called Upward, where it was essentially Scrabble, but the tiles could stack one on top of another.
Oh, weird.
So you would be able to earn points that way.
Vertically and horizontally?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, so if I had house and then you put an L on top of the H, you would then have like louse.
Oh.
Yeah.
It builds up that way.
Yes. And that one I thought was a pretty interesting variation.
That's crazy.
But I don't remember actually ever playing it as a kid.
Okay.
So one of the other games that I had looked into was Chutes and Ladders, because
I played maybe 5 times when I was a kid.
Okay. Like I remember that being a pretty integral like part of growing up. So it's actually more commonly known as Snakes and Ladders. It's Chutes and Ladders really only here in the States.
Interesting.
But it initially came from India and was known as Moksha Patam, and then brought to the UK in the 1890s, and then finally was published here in the States, beginning then in the 40s by Milton Bradley in 1943.
One more time, what was that name?
The Indian name?
Yeah.
Moksha Padam?
Interesting. That is all.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, did I say something wrong?
No.
I didn't know if you were like fluent in Hindi.
You could have said anything, and I probably would have been like,
okay. So originally it was presented as a game of morality, and there were virtues that you would actually land on that would get you to move up or down.
Oh.
So good virtues would take you up, and then poor virtues would take you down. So the original virtues that there were, which would make you move up, were faith, reliability, generosity, knowledge, and asceticism. Whereas the vices, which is like what would bring you down, were disobedience, vanity, vulgarity, theft, lying, drunkenness, debt, murder, rage, greed, pride, and lust.
See why it's so hard to be good? Because there's way more bad than there is good.
Right? And I think that that's
way more
what they're
bad.
trying to go ahead and get across. So the U.S. version then became known as Chutes and Ladders and replaced the dice, because it was originally a die game, and replaced it with a spinner. And they replaced the snakes as well, which evidently scared kids at the time. I just wrote down weak shit. And then were changed, right? Like, come on. You guys are active,
Get that weak shit out of
Get
here.
that weak shit out of here. Oh, the snakes are scary. They were changed to chutes, and the game board was then changed to looking like a playground in the background.
As we know it.
So one of the interesting things that I did not know is that the phrase "back to square one" seems to have originated from Snakes and Ladders.
No way.
Yes.
Wow. We use that phrase all the time.
All the time. So it didn't come about until much later, where somebody had written something along the lines of them like making an analogy to people struggling with reading and saying that their struggle was like the intellectual akin to starting back at square one in the game of Snakes and Ladders.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's where it came from.
That's a cool little
Right?
tidbit of information.
Just a little something.
Shoots, man. And I think, Chutes and Ladders is what I call it, because that's what we know it as.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember playing and like loving that game.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But I didn't have it. I
Oh,
was
no?
I was at a friend's house playing it. Young, like 8 or 9 or maybe 10 years old. But I don't really remember how to play, and I feel like I would love that game.
When it had come out here in the States as Chutes and Ladders, it quickly became their number one selling game after a game that was known as Uncle Wiggly. Did you ever play Uncle Wiggly?
No.
Uncle Wiggly, I did play as a kid as well.
Never even heard of it.
It was another numbers game. Where you would pick up a card and it would tell you like how many cards to or spaces to move along. And I just always remember that there was one of the cards. It was for moving ahead 8, and it was hurry, hurry, don't be late. Move Uncle Wiggly ahead by 8.
It's like a Jumanji ripoff.
Yeah. Well, they had done studies actually, and what they had found was that students or kids that were introduced to these types of games earlier on, that their like math skills and like number counting skills basically like socioeconomically started to like even everybody out. So like low income students and low income like children that were introduced to this game, they saw that their, again, like, number skills and number abilities would increase and start to become equal to that of like middle class students and things along those lines.
Fascinating.
Right?
Yeah.
Make it a world go round.
Yeah. Okay. Before I get into my last game, I think we should talk about some of the ones we missed
Oh, yeah.
that we didn't talk about in the beginning, because there are still more.
Yeah.
Right? How about Hungry Hungry Hippos?
I liked it, but I didn't
Not your
love
favorite
it.
game?
I wouldn't go out of my way for it.
Okay. How about, we talked about Candyland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about, we didn't, Risk?
Oh, I didn't play Risk until I was much older.
Same.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever played Risk, but I played Axis and Allies, which is essentially the same game.
We never played Risk altogether?
No.
I could have swore that we did because there was one particular territory that was...
Maybe we did?
Yeah, because there was one particular territory that was named like Costu or Costco, something along those lines, and it had sounded like the last name of one of the girls that a friend of ours was dating at the time.
I don't remember this.
No? Maybe
it wasn't me. I don't think I've ever actually played Risk.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Huh.
But have you played Axis and Allies?
No.
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
World conquering.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a fun one. We talked about Checkers, kind of.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Settlers of Catan.
Oh, I love Settlers of Catan.
I never played that.
Oh, dude. Again, a game you would absolutely love. Oh, it is the right level of strategy and like world building. It is such an awesome game. It
actually kind of sounds fun.
It's great. I think they actually just recently changed the name to now only be
Settlers.
No, to be the opposite, to only be Catan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
This is one we didn't talk about, but I really wanted to. Battleship.
Oh, yeah.
Because, and I would still play that. Battle Shots. I would play Battle Shots right now if we had Battleship.
So I didn't know this, but I had looked it up, or I was looking up some other stuff, is that the only thing I have about Battleship is that, two things is that, so one of which is that the board used to be, like, kind of bigger, that actually had ports that were included on it, and it was also the first board game to then be converted into a computer game in 1979.
Oh,
I love that.
It was the first board game to be a computer game.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah. You sunk my battleship.
Oh, man.
So good. So good.
You ever play Battle Shots?
I think I have. Probably with you guys. Yeah.
It's very fun.
Yeah. I like that one. You know which one game I used to hate?
Tell me.
Did you ever play the game? Oh, my God. What an anxiety-inducing game. You ever play the game Perfection? Put the pieces into the slots.
No.
Make the right connection.
No.
But be fast, you're racing the clock. Pop goes perfection.
No, I never actually played it. That was the one where it was like
Anxiety-inducing.
you spin the thing, all the pieces pop out, and then you got to put them into the right place? Or
you
no?
had them out to begin with.
You
and
had
you
them
would
out to begin
push
with.
the board down and then set the timer. And it was one of those timers where it was like...
That I remember.
Oh,
and then you had to like put the
pieces in.
almost like square piece in square piece. Round
Yeah,
piece,
yeah,
like that.
exactly. Except
I
they were
never
like,
played that, but I do remember.
I hated that game.
You know what's not a board game, but what was a fun one? Simon.
You gonna say Simon?
Yeah.
Boop 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 boop.
Yeah, I could play Simon for hours.
Now I don't think so.
Pop It.
Pop. Oh, I loved
That's a good one,
Bop
too.
It. Was a great game too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
man.
a board game though.
There are so many good ones.
We really grew up in like a great time to grow up.
Oh yeah, because I think we had a good combination of older games and newer
Yeah.
games. I loved Kerplunk.
Kerplunk. Oh man, haven't played that. What was the other one where it was?
Don't Break the Ice, which was a cool
That's
one.
it. Don't break the ice. Where the sticks, you pull out the sticks, right, and the balls fall.
That was Kerplunk.
That was Kerplunk.
Don't break
What
the
was
Don't Break the Ice was they were these little plastic pieces, little plastic squares that would all fit together, and you would have in the middle was a penguin.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
you used to have to go ahead and
Yep.
knock each individual square at.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. Let's go back to the source. I consider
The OG?
I consider it the source.
Yeah.
Chess.
Okay.
I'm gonna teach everyone how to play chess because I know almost none of y'all know how to play.
Wow. Shots
Yeah.
fired.
Tell me if I'm wrong because I'm probably not.
Yeah, come at us, plebes.
Yeah, plebes, serfs. So chess is, and I actually, this is one thing I consider myself maybe not a savant of chess rules, but like I know the rules. I didn't know that you set it up with the white spot on the bottom right corner.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, so I may have been setting up chessboards wrong for this entire time. But there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total pieces in chess, like 9 different pieces. And there's 8 pawns.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to try and explain this to you guys without you seeing it. It's going to be really hard. But it's a checkerboard, a chessboard. There are 16 pieces. You have 8 across, 2 rows. The row right in front of you is your like fancy row, if you want to call it, fancy piece row, where you have your rook, your knight, your bishop, your queen, and your king. Queen and the king are in the middle, only one of each. Laterally on their sides, you have the rook, the knight, the bishop.
Mm-hmm.
In front of them, an entire row of pawns. Because pawns.
Yeah.
The pawns you can really only move one at a time. Unless on your first move you can move 2 spots. And then really the objective is to trap the other team's king.
King?
King?
Oh, you're right. I apologize. I'm sorry. That was wow, great, Nick. The first time I can open my mouth, I'm flawlessly incorrect.
That's okay. Do you know, does the king or queen go on their color? Do you know that?
Isn't it king to color or queen to color?
I thought it was. It's queen. So the queen goes on their color.
Yeah.
King right next to their side. And the queen is like your versatile piece. Can move in any direction. I didn't know this, but can also move in the shape of the knight. So in the L shape.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. I think I read. Oh, now I got to check. Hold on. Stand by.
You did start by referring to yourself as a savant of chess rules.
I said
correct?
I don't want to call myself a savant.
Okay, you're right. I'm splitting hairs.
It's all about semantics. Okay, so I'm sorry. The queen cannot move like a knight. The queen can make essentially every other move except for the knight. And yeah, so you use your pieces to trap the other team's king. And actually, I've seen some chess games that go on for like 2 moves, and then the king is trapped.
That's wild.
It really all comes down to your opening move.
Right.
If you move the wrong pawn, you can very easily lose. And then kind of like inversely, where there are a lot of rules I don't know, there's a lot of like really interesting, like, do you know what knighting is? Or is it called knighting?
Is that when a pawn moves all the way to the other side?
That isn't called knighting, but that is something interesting. You can turn, if your pawn reaches the final row on the other side, you can turn it into any piece that you've lost.
Right.
Which I think is an amazing rule. But I believe it's called knighting when if you don't move your king and one of your rooks, so the last piece bottom row on either side, you can swap them.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting like details that go in it. Like it can only be done if this has happened, and you didn't move this piece.
Oh.
But you can swap out pieces like that. And there's one more interesting rule that I thought I maybe wanted to get into. But I love that you can like send a pawn to the other side and get another queen.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the again, almost like in checkers, how it's a matter of like king me, you know.
King me.
Now I'm super.
Exactly. Yeah, you get the little double stack up on checkers.
Yeah.
And then just, you know, if you don't know who Bobby Fischer is.
Oh my God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad because I'm sitting here thinking, is he going to mention Bobby Fischer?
Yeah, if you don't know who Bobby Fischer is, go look him up because I won't do it any justice explaining it to you. And I didn't watch the show yet, but it just came out. It was on Netflix. It's about chess.
Oh, the Queen's Gambit?
Yes.
I didn't watch it either. That was like a
okay.
big one I know that everyone was into.
Everyone was nuts about that show when it came out.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to watch it too.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at all though.
But I would even like go to the park and watch 2 people play chess.
It's
like
a
in
big
Manhattan.
deal. Yeah, when you go into the city, absolutely.
Yep. I love
People
that
are
when they're at the
like,
table like, boom, move.
oh yeah.
Click.
And they click through.
Yeah.
So go ask your mama and make sure you listen. Because one thing's for sure.
This isn't Hell's Kitchen. Oh, okay.
Bobby Fischer's missing.
I've never heard that. So
that's from SNL.
Bobby
Fischer.
Never really watched.
Where is he? I don't know. Bobby Fischer.
Well, he was like a teenager, right? Like 12-year-old chess prodigy.
I think, and then he eventually like moved up to become like a weirdly well known in like the adult circle,
like
and then
blown.
like kind of like fell off the face of the planet at one point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, from chess, shall I move into Clue?
Shall we? Yeah, and I'm really glad that I didn't do an entire deep dive into Clue
Oh no.
because I nearly did and only talked about the movie.
Oh okay.
I was this close to
All right.
really putting it in. You know?
Well, good. I'm glad because the movie's covered in here as well.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that to you. Come on.
Yes.
So Clue and is officially or actually known as Cluedo or Cluedo.
Oh.
Yep. And it was developed in 1943 by Anthony Pratt and then became marketed in 1949. So Pratt had devised the idea when he was being like holed up during the Second World War in Birmingham. And he had built the idea out of the popular genre of novel at the time, being like mystery, science, particularly those books written by Agatha Christie. So that's
My girl.
That's 100% like where he got the idea from. And
Cool.
Once we learn that, it starts to make sense based on her, works of 10 Little Indians or, and then there were none, which are the same, but, depending upon, I guess, which version you read. Mm-hmm. So over the years, Clue, again, certain weapons and rooms were either added or eliminated. So, and characters as well. So to begin with, there was originally also a Mr. Brown, a Mr. Gold, a Miss Gray, and a Mrs. Silver.
Oh.
There was also a gun room and a cellar at one point also. And the weapons also included a bomb, syringe, a shillelagh, a fireplace poker.
A shillelagh?
A shillelagh, yep. An axe and poison. So obviously, the goal the entire time is for you to have to figure out, here in the States, you have to figure out who killed Mr. Body. In the original UK version, it was Mr. Black who had died. And again, the rules have kind of changed over the years. Originally, you would have to land on another player to question them. You also weren't handed out individual cards. The cards were dispersed throughout the individual rooms, so you have to go to the rooms to find that this weapon was actually there. It sounds a little bit more
I think I like that
challenging.
better, yeah.
I think I do too, because it sets everybody up, I think, on an even sort of playing field. Of course, however, we would be remiss if we did not talk about the great 1985 film.
Damn, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Phenomenal actor.
Eileen Brennan, Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKean, Martin Mull, and Leslie Ann Warren. Had to name all of them.
I forgot Christopher Lloyd was in it too.
Yep. All of them. So it's interesting because it wasn't much of a box office success.
I saw that.
But again, it had really garnered then some of that a cult following.
They actually didn't even make enough money to cover the cost of the production.
Exactly. I believe that it said that the final box office totals were 14.6 million or something like that.
On the movie.
So, and it's one of those things in retrospect, you almost wish you could go and do, but the whole thing with, if you did go to see it in the theaters, that potentially you could have seen a different ending 3 different times.
Right.
On the home release versions, they put all 3 of the alternative endings all in one, and we would see all 3 kind of in a row. But when you would go to the theaters, you didn't know which ending you were actually going to wind up seeing, which is awesome. So if anything, and I don't know if you had known this, so Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, was originally contracted to be Miss Scarlet.
Oh, no, I didn't.
In the movie, yeah, but couldn't partake because she was actually
Star Wars.
Well, no, she was actually going, I believe, into rehab for drugs and alcohol treatment. And what's one of the most famous lines
from Clue?
Yeah.
It's not "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," because that was from something else.
That's Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. The butler did it. The butler did it.
No.
What?
Flames on the
flames on the side of my face.
Side of my face. Red, hot, flame. Totally improvised.
I love it.
Madeline Kahn and flames on the side of my face. I have such an uncomfortable crush on Madeline Kahn because I think that she is one of the funniest women.
Funny.
I just happened to watch as a sidebar yesterday. I don't know why. I watched History of the World Part 1, and she plays the Roman Empress at one point in time. Oh my God. She's being carried through the streets of Rome on a barrister. And they stop. And she just sticks her head out and just goes, "Can we try and step on the same foot at the same time? My tits are falling off in here." And I always just thought she's so goddamn funny.
It's the delivery.
It's so
delivery.
Good. So good.
Man, what great. Okay.
Of course, I performed then as a Professor Plum in our our high school rendition of the show.
Great.
Won an award. And
you did?
And yeah.
You won a Basie?
I did. I
Good
did
for
for Best
you.
Supporting Actor. I
Good for
had
you.
2 demands during that show. I said, I want him to be a drunk. I'm going to play him as a drunk. And I have to have a mustache and pipe. And I got all of them.
Well played.
Thank you.
Man, okay, so did you come across the fact that, I don't know if you were done yet, but there was a 4th ending that didn't make it into the final release?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, what's the director's name? I don't remember his name, but he came out and he said that after he watched it, he was like, no. This has to go. This does not cut it for us. And the 4th ending was Wadsworth killed everyone,
Oh, no way.
poisoned everyone, and then like in hopes that they would die like later on. The police come in, he gets arrested, but somehow escapes, and it's like a car chase. He gets in the back, in the front of a police car and drives away, but there are like dogs in the car, and the dogs stop him or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad they didn't do that at
Yeah.
all then. Oh, man.
Yeah, but Tim Curry is a delight in that film.
He's enchanting.
1 + 2 + 2 + 1. It's 1 + 2 + 1 + 1. Fantastic movie.
A delicacy from the Orient, but not exactly in Washington, D.C.
What is his name? The guy who played.
That was Tim Curry.
Oh,
Was
I'm thinking
Wadsworth.
of the other guy. I thought that was a line from the guy who played Professor Plum.
Professor Plum was Christopher Lloyd. And then
Not him.
Martin Mull was Mr. Green.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
Martin
Martin
Mull.
Mull. Yeah. The only thing I really know him from is then he was on like Hollywood Squares for many
Yeah, I
many
don't know what
years.
else I know him from, but I like him.
He's always played like a teacher
like
in an
a
episode of like
nerdy or
a
quirky,
sitcom or something along those
Yeah,
lines.
maybe that's what I've seen him.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, such a phenomenal movie.
That movie actually made me, because I don't think I had played the game before the movie. I had seen the movie.
Oh, really?
As a child, yeah. So made me want to go and get the game. And then when I eventually got it, I got like an updated one.
Yeah.
So it was virtual. So like you play on a board and on the TV, and you have to like DVD remote your way through the thing. It was terrible.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like
it's
that was
terrible.
early days of like
Innovation,
digitized games are
Pretty
a little
much.
like rough to go back through.
Although one of the fun ones, Trivial Pursuit, is very fun to play on the TV.
That one's good. Do you remember? It was popular for a hot minute. Do you remember Seen It?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I remember playing that a lot.
I think we played that.
we played
I
that.
think I had a Disney one.
Yeah, I want to say
not
my
mistaken.
parents had a couple different versions
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and they were all about that game. Wow. I love a good board game.
What a good time growing up.
My favorite board game of all time. I'll play it anytime, anywhere, and technically doesn't have, I guess, a board. Categories.
Yeah.
Greatest.
That's another one that we didn't talk about that I wanted to bring
Greatest.
up, and I'm glad you did because I forgot.
Love it. Love it.
We would play that at the house.
Play it at the
all the
house
time, the PA
all the
house.
time. All the time.
That was our, oh, man, it's 2 p.m. We can't drink yet. Let's kill some time. What are we going to do? Let's play categories.
Scattergories.
For the most part, there were a couple times where I was like, nah, I don't want to play.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everyone played.
Everybody played and those 1 or 2 folks that didn't usually would be like, I'm going to take a
Watch.
nap.
Yeah. Or would watch us play.
And it was great. Yeah. Cause we would sit there and like, I can hear still the clock just.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, good times, man.
God, we got to put together a game night. I think
We
is
miss
what this
board.
means.
Yeah, we miss board games. I think is
Yeah.
what we've taken away from
big
from this
time.
episode. Please let us know if we missed any of your favorites.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we did, and I'm sure once we hear it, we're gonna be like, oh, how did we forget blank?
Except keep your Dungeons and Dragons to yourself.
You know, I must say I never played,
Neither have I.
but I feel like it would be fun.
I'm sure it would.
We need a good dungeon master.
We do.
Who would be the best dungeon master in our friend group? It's not Danny. Sorry, Danny.
I feel like I enjoy making
You
up.
might-
I
you'd
was
be
going
a
to
good
say,
one.
I got to be honest with you. I feel like I like making up stuff enough.
Yeah.
To where I could-
Mike. Mike would be
Yeah,
a good one
Mike
too
would be
because
good
Mike's
at this.
pretty good on the spot. coming
Yeah.
up with stuff.
Yeah. I feel like that would be the case. But aside from that game, tell us anything else.
Yeah, for real. Come find us. Stay tuned for our socials if you didn't hear them in the beginning.
If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and just click that subscribe button real quick. It's not gonna kill you.
Yeah, and it helps us out a lot. Subscribe, like, comment, tell us what you don't like, tell us what you do like. We don't care.
When you help us, we help you.
Help me help you.
Helping you.
Help me help you.
Helping me.
Great song. Side note, would love it if that was my wedding song, but it's not.
Well, if I haven't just figured out what my first request is going to be to the DJ,
that'll be on the list.
Oh, good.
Oh, it'll be on the list.
Oh, good. I love to hear it.
But you won't be.
But you won't be, unless you are. In which case,
we'll see you there.
Then? But we'll definitely see you for our next episode.
100%. Have a great weekend.
Goodbye.
It's not the weekend.